Welcome to the Main Street Preps High School Football Wrap-Up. Nobody brings you more comprehensive coverage of high school sports in Middle Tennessee than Main Street Preps. Today's show is brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Remember, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Now, please welcome the host of the Main Street Preps High School Wrap-Up Show, Chris Yao.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in to the Main Street Media Football Wrap-Up Show on Main Street Media Television. I'm Chris Yao. We've got 9 folks to tell you about what happened in all of Middle Tennessee this week in and around high school football action. Plenty to get to. Thanks to our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for sponsoring the show. Remember, fans don't let fans drive drunk. All right, we're going to start up north where David Wilson is standing by.
Hey everyone, my name is David Wilson, sports reporter for the Robertson County Connection. He'll give you a quick recap of the first round of the playoffs in the Robertson County area. 5 teams took to the gridiron this past Friday night, but after Friday night's action, only 1 team remains in play, and they will move on to the second round of the playoffs, and that is the East Robertson Indians. They stayed red hot and picked up a 42-0 win over Cascade this past Friday night in Cross Plains. Elijah Groves had a 53-yard touchdown reception from freshman quarterback Kason Young, and Isaiah Groves continued his push for a Class 2A Mr. Football award. He had 10 carries for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns in the victory over the champions. The East Robertson defense was stingy all night, forcing 4 turnovers, including a 27-yard interception return for a touchdown by sophomore Cade Brooks. In White House Heritage fell to Stratford by a final score of 58-42. Despite the loss, freshman quarterback Xavier Murray was phenomenal, completing 19 of 29 passes for 266 yards and 4 touchdowns in the loss. The freshman has been phenomenal all year long. White House closes the year 5-6 on the season. They made the playoffs and hosted a home playoff game 1 year after going 1-9. Phenomenal job for first-year Patriots head coach Scott Murray. White House nearly pulled off the upset on the road at number 1 Hardin County. The Blue Devils fell by a final score of 29-22. Quarterback Carter Smith for the Tigers out of Hardin County, a semifinalist for the Class 4A Mr. Football Award, had a 5-yard rushing touchdown late that put Hardin County ahead with 30 seconds remaining on the clock. So they eke out a victory over the very game Blue Devils. The Blue Devils, their season comes to a close. They notched another 6-win season under Ryan Hamilton, their second consecutive. Jo Byrns lost to South Pittsburgh on the road this past Friday night by a final score of 63-0. Jo Byrns finishes the year 1-10 under first-year Jo Byrns head coach Justin Robinson. And then Dustin Wilson and the Yellow Jackets went on the road to face undefeated Southwind, and Southwind defeats Springfield by a final of 62-0. It will be Dustin Wilson's first loss in the first round in his career at Springfield. He entered Friday's matchup at Southwind 9-0 in the first round, and they are handed their first loss, Dustin Wilson's first loss in the first round of his career at the Nest in Springfield. The Yellow Jackets finished the year 4-7. That'll do it for the first round recap. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, David. Let's go to his partner, Brady McAtamney, who's got your Montgomery County report.
Hi, I'm Brady McAtamney, sports editor for Main Street Clarksville, bringing you a quick wrap-up of what happened on Friday night. Football season in Clarksville has ended, at least on the high school side, with all 3 teams remaining losing their games. West Creek and Rossview were both blown out by Germantown and Bartlett, respectively, whereas Clarksville High had a much closer game, losing to Collierville 23-22. They led the game by 2 scores in the fourth quarter, but were unable to hold the lead as Collierville took the lead with under a minute to go.
Well done. Appreciate you guys. All right, we're going to take our first break of the day. Make sure to stick around. We've got much more coming your way. High school football recap show right here on Main Street Media TV.
He shoots, and he scores!
At Dixon Tater Shack, we take loaded baked potatoes to a whole new level. We're not just any potato joint, we're the best this side of the Mason-Dixon line. Whether you're a traditionalist who loves classic flavors or a culinary adventurer seeking bold new combinations, we've got you covered. Located at 728 East College Street. Dine in or take out. Follow us on Facebook. Call us at 615-740-7111.
Complete Service Heat and Air is a trusted provider of top-notch heating and cooling solutions dedicated to ensuring optimal comfort and efficiency for residential and commercial spaces. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way 24/7. Service, call us at 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties. Derryberry's Heat and Air has been proudly serving the Middle Tennessee area for over 35 years. We have been voted Sumner County's best heat and air company for the past 8 years. For outstanding service, call Derryberry's at 615-452-8121.
As an Allstate agent in Gallatin, Larry Maynard knows many local families. His knowledge and understanding of the people in this community helps him provide customers with outstanding service. Give Larry a call at 615-452-1500.
Welcome back in, folks, to the Main Street Media High School Football Wrap-Up Show on Main Street Media Television. I'm Chris Yao. Glad to have you guys with us as we are taking you around the Mid-State to talk about what happened this past Friday night. We've heard from Robertson County and Montgomery County. Let's just keep going east and hit Sumner County, where Blaine Keller has a report.
4 Sumner County teams still are in the TSSAA playoffs after Friday's first round. I'm Sumner County Sports Editor Blaine Keller, here to give you the rundown. This is your Sumner County Football Snapshot postseason edition. Beach, Hendersonville, Station Camp, and Liberty Creek. Those are the 4 teams that are on to the second round of the postseason. Some of the biggest performers from those wins in the first round for those schools: quarterbacks Caden Powell and Brian Rager to start. Powell from Beach had 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 passing touchdowns. He eclipsed 100 yards passing and rushing in a big win over Memphis Overton. And Brian Rager had 4 first-half touchdown passes in a 42-0 win over Sycamore. 2 other schools with big players across the board. Two-way star Sanders Ellis, a Tennessee State commitment. He had 160 rushing yards, 2 tackles for loss, and a touchdown in an upset of South Gibson on the road. That was Station Camp's first playoff win since 2013. And that's without mentioning the 3-headed monster that Hendersonville had in a big win, another upset at Munford. Mason Baker, Cooper Jordan, and Dale Payne each had 2 rushing touchdowns as the Commandos moved on to face Henry County in the second round. The losers from Sumner County, the 4 teams that had their seasons come to a close: Gallatin lost 38-3 at Oakland. Pope Prep lost 49-24 at North Point Christian. Westmoreland dropped a game at Marion County. That was a 2-score game, 21-7. And White House essentially falls at the buzzer to undefeated Hardin County. Beach is at undefeated Southwind this week. Hendersonville is at Henry County in a rematch of a 31-13 game 2 weeks ago. Liberty Creek's at Fairview, and Station Camp faces top-ranked Pearl Cone in Sumner's second-round games. We'll see you out there, and we'll see you back here next week on the Sumner County Football Snapshot. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Blaine. All right, we're going to go now to Wilson County, where Tommy Bryan is standing by.
Hi, everybody. This is Tommy Bryan, sports editor of the Wilson Post in Lebanon. Here's a look at the TSSAA football playoff action from Friday, November 3rd, involving our local teams here in Wilson County. Watertown went on the road to Athens, Tennessee, and dropped a 35-32 decision to McMinn Central in the opening round of the Class 3A playoffs. That game was a shootout from the jump, and Watertown could not convert an onside kick with 11 seconds left in regulation to try to win that football game. Friendship Christian had no trouble with Fayette Academy jumping out to a 42-0 lead, and playing their JV the entire second half of a 42-14 victory in that contest. Tyson Walcott scored 4 touchdowns for the Commanders. Mount Juliet held off a stubborn Rockvale team in the Class 6A playoffs. Mount Juliet 29, Rockvale 19. DCA had no trouble with Mount Juliet Christian Academy, defeating the Saints 65-14 at Ken Redmond Stadium. And in 6A, Riverdale handled Green Hill by a score of 50-13. Coming up Friday, November 10, in the 6A playoffs, Oakland will play at Mount Juliet 7 o'clock kickoff at Roger Perry Field. DCA will play at Friendship Christian's Pirtle Field. That game also at 7 o'clock. That's in the Division II Class A playoffs. That's a look at what's happening in high school football involving Wilson County football teams. I'm Tommy Bryan for Main Street Preps. I'll talk to you later.
Moving south, Monty Hale has a report from Rutherford County.
And then there were 5. Hello, I'm Monty Hale, sports editor of the Murfreesboro Post. 5 Rutherford County teams remain in the playoffs after last week's action. Riverdale, Oakland, Smyrna, Eagleville, and Middle Tennessee Christian School are still playing football. We'll look at last week. Riverdale 50, Green Hill 13. The Warriors keep rolling. Oakland 38, Gallatin 3. Oakland almost 500 yards in total offense. Cookeville 35, Siegel 10. So the Star season ends, as does Rockvale with a 23-19 setback to Mount Juliet. Smyrna dominates the game and beats Old Nemesis Independence 26-14. Ravenwood 28, Brentwood 14. Eagleville goes out west and clobbers West Carroll 37-6 and advances to the next round. Nashville Christian ends PCA's season 47-14, and Middle Tennessee Christian School had a bye. Okay, that sets up this week's games. Cookeville at Riverdale. Oakland at Mount Juliet. You say, why is Oakland at Mount Juliet? Mount Juliet a 1 seed, Oakland a 2. Ravenwood at Smyrna. Eagleville at Moore County. And FACS at MTCS. FACS is First Assembly Christian School. So they put up 56 points last week. So we got some good matchups on tap. If Oakland and Riverdale win, we'll have Oakland versus Riverdale in the Battle of the Borough Part 2 the following week. I'm Monty Hale, sports editor of the Murfreesboro Post.
Thanks, guys. When we return, we've got a few more folks to get in, so stick around here on the Main Street Media Football Wrap-Up Show presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. We'll be right back after these messages.
He shoots, and he scores!
At Dixon Tater Shack, we take loaded baked potatoes to a whole new level. We're not just any potato joint, we're the best this side of the Mason-Dixon line. Whether you're a traditionalist who loves classic flavors or a culinary adventurer seeking bold new combinations, we've got you covered. Located at 728 East College Street. Dine in or take out. Follow us on Facebook. Call us at 615-740-7111.
Complete Service Heat and Air is a trusted provider of top-notch heating and cooling solutions dedicated to ensuring optimal comfort and efficiency for residential and commercial spaces. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way 24/7. Service. Call us at 615-797-3997. serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties. Derryberry's Heat and Air has been proudly serving the Middle Tennessee area for over 35 years. We have been voted Sumner County's best heat and air company for the past 8 years. For outstanding service, call Derryberry's at 615-452-8121.
As an Allstate agent in Gallatin, Larry Maynard knows many local families. His knowledge and understanding of the people in this community helps him provide customers with outstanding service. Give Larry a call at 615-452-1500.
Welcome back into the Main Street Media High School Football Wrap-Up Show presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Remember, fans, don't let fans drive drunk. Over in Dixon County, also in Cheatham County, we've got Casey Patrick standing by.
Hi, my name is Casey Patrick. I'm the sports reporter for the Cheatham County Exchange and the Dixon Post. This past week was the first week of the TSSAA playoffs. 2 teams from the Cheatham area and 1 team from Dixon made it in. I was at the Dixon County playoff game. They played against Houston. They lost that game 47-0 to bring their season to an end. Over on the Cheatham side of things, Sycamore traveled to Liberty Creek. Liberty Creek's a new school, but a very good team. Liberty Creek won that game 42-0. And Cheatham County Central traveled to East Nashville. And East Nashville, the number 1 seed in that region, of course, they were able to pull away with a 40-0 win over the Cubs. So that means all 3 of my teams are done for the year. But it was a fun year. And good luck to the rest of those teams that are still playing. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Thanks. Now we're going to go down to Murray County, where Maurice Patton has a report from South Williamson, Murray, and Lawrence County.
Week 1 of the playoffs was unfortunately the only week for a few of our area teams here in and around Murray County. Starting south of here, where Region 5 2A champion Loretto dropped a tough one 28-24 to visiting Decatur County. Week 1 of the playoffs was a tough one for most of our area teams here in and around Murray County, starting south of town in Region 5 2A as undefeated champion Loretto fell 28-24 to Peabody, visiting Peabody. The Golden Tide improving to 5-6 with that back and forth victory down there and ending Loretto's season. Also in Region 5 2A, Mount Pleasant went on the road and dropped a tough one 50-6 over at Decatur County Riverside. Their second loss in the playoffs in as many years to the Panthers. In Class 5A, Columbia Central goes up to Centennial. Scores twice, takes the lead twice. Can't hold down Mr. Football semifinalist Dominic Reed in an eventual 27-15 loss. But Caden McCoy with a 72-yard reception and a 97-yard kickoff return, both of which ended up in the end zone for the Lions in that one to keep them close. In Class 6A opening round playoff action, Independence fell 26-14 over at Smyrna. Smyrna kind of had that one coming. I think Independence had won maybe the last 5 times they had played. So Bulldogs move on. Also, our only winner last week, Summit, goes over to Antioch, picks up a 38-29 victory to advance in 6A behind junior quarterback Mason McElhaney, who scored 3 touchdowns and rushed for 145 yards. The Spartans will be in action again this weekend, round 2. Going to undefeated Brentwood. So that's a rematch there. Brentwood won the opener 20-0 back earlier in the regular season. Also, Columbia Academy returns to action after a bye in Division 2A. They will take on Jackson Christian, a 37-7 winner in the opening round over Ezel Harding. And this is a rematch from last year as CA went out to Jackson and lost 49-14 to the Eagles. So only 2 teams in the area still going, but should have a couple of good ball games for them this week.
And finally, we're going to go down to the southernmost point of the coverage area in Pulaski and Giles County.
Playoff football will continue in Giles County as the Giles County High School Bobcats knock off Chattanooga Brainerd 34-0 last Friday night in the opening round of the Class 3A playoffs. Big win for GCHS. They set the tone early They took the opening drive. They marched 60 yards for a touchdown, and Johnny Jackson running in for 6 yards and the score. GCHS goes up early, and then they got a great stop defensively. Brainerd goes for it on 4th down in their own side of the field. Giles County makes the stop. They score one play later, and it's really off to the races as they led that game 24-0 at halftime, and they end up winning it 34-0. Kamari Turner with 2 rushing touchdowns, caught one pass. This kid is so explosive for Giles County. He continues to be one of the top playmakers really in the state, but especially in Class 3A. And you also had, a rushing touchdown there from Johnny Jackson. And 2 nice field goals from Chase Carden for Giles County, the big kicker for GCHS, putting some points on the board through special teams as the Bobcats got a great win. Looking ahead now, the Bobcats get a matchup with McMinn Central, who's the number 2 seed out of Region 3. This will be the first ever meeting between the two schools, which is always one of the fun things about the postseason. Giles County will welcome the Chargers to Sam Davis Park. It's going to be a fun matchup on Friday. McMinn Central's got an explosive offense, but they kind of had to hang on as Watertown gave them a pretty good fight right up until the very end, as GCHS again will meet McMinn Central. On the other side of that bracket, you have undefeated Meigs County, who's the number 1 seed in their sister region. They take on Sequatchie County. So the Bobcats will take on the Chargers, and then it'll be Sequatchie County taking on Meigs County. Those 2 winners will get it on the following week. So busy week for Giles County High School football. A reminder, you can catch each and every single snap of GCHS action on Pulaski Citizen Live every Friday night. Live radio broadcast. Yours truly and Chris Bledsoe will have the broadcast. We'll be there at the Brickyard this Friday. It's GCHS versus McMinn Central. Round 2 of the Class 3A state playoffs is upon us. We'll see you Friday night. That's all from us here in Giles County. Wade Neely, sports editor of the Pulaski Citizen. We'll see you next time.
That's going to do it for this edition of the Main Street Media High School Football Wrap-Up Show. Again, thanks to our sponsor, the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Fans, don't let fans drive drunk. We hope to see you on Friday night at a high school football game. Make sure to come back, watch the show. If you are looking for what happened on Friday nights, we've got you covered. But, of course, you can always visit mainstreetpreps.com on Saturday and anytime during the week if you want to go back and check out all of the stories from around the mid-state. Nobody has more comprehensive and timely coverage of high school football than Main Street Preps. That's mainstreetpreps.com. And, of course, check out each of our local publications as well in print and online. So we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We'll see you next week on the Main Street Media High School Football Wrap-Up Show.
You have been watching the Main Street Preps High School Football Wrap-Up Show with Chris Yao. Nobody brings you more comprehensive coverage of high school sports in Middle Tennessee than Main Street Preps. Join us each week at this time on Main Street Media TV to get the latest news about high school football. The Main Street Preps High School Football Wrap-Up Show was brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.